When Advanced Warfare came out in 2014, I remember thinking, wow,
Yeah, this isn't even bad in today's age.
this looks amazing. And then next year's COD came out, and
Video game graphics peaked 8 years ago. Video by Rambler Scramblin'.
in 2016, geologists uncovered a World War I era helmet camera, and on it
Okay.
they found
It's a very
this.
weird looking camera. The hell? That don't look like real life. Where's that Battlefield? Okay, Battlefield 1.
This was graphics in 2016. This is graphics now. Notice the difference? Well, this is actually live gameplay of Helldivers. Don't believe me?
Never heard of that game, surprisingly.
Alt-tab real quick.
I'm
There
guessing it's on a
definitely
very
are more
old
games
like
that are at the
console.
point of looking realistic, but at the same time, these games are also getting harder to run. And at what cost? In ye olden times, the jump in graphics every time a new generation of console was coming out was obvious and massive. But on
I
the
mean, look at the PS3. Even though the graphics, yeah, they're not the best. In today's age, many people, they still play on PS3 or older consoles because they love those retro games or classic games as you call them.
PS4 and Xbox One's release, there were a lot of titles that looked pretty much
Yeah, I'd say it was a bigger jump between, let's say, 1 and Series X.
identical to the last gen counterparts, and people were wondering, where's the upgrade? Now me, I was playing super flat Minecraft on a little potato laptop at 30 FPS, so to me, I thought the PS4 menu was the pinnacle of gaming. But
Yeah, and Minecraft's one of those games you don't really care about insane graphics. Like, it's accessible on many devices. People just don't care. They just like the game for the fun of it. If other games took this whole simplistic approach to graphics, then I think it'd age really well. I mean, there are games nowadays you play like, let's say, the old GTA 3, not the definitive one, the original. You'll play that and you'll think, yeah, these graphics are just terrible. But then you'll look at Minecraft, which is another really old game, and you'll be calm with playing it.
as more and more games came out and next-gen exclusive was becoming a less and less relevant term, you could actually see graphics get better. When Advanced Warfare came out in 2014, I remember thinking, wow,
Yeah, this isn't even bad in today's age.
this looks amazing. And then next year's COD came out, and after that, you
don't
had
know
all
why that
these
looks
other games
worse.
that people today still tout as some of the best graphics in gaming. And this
Yeah, I haven't played Red Dead 2 yet, but I saw like a graphics comparison video to like the new Resident Evil, and it's actually insane. It's still holding up, and in some instances, the actual physics when you're like stepping on stairs looks better. I mean, that could be, yes, it was on PC. I know PC, yes, you can always upgrade it, but the console, you can't really upgrade the graphics on it. So it could be that.
was before the PS5 was even announced. Once it did eventually come out, all three gamers who got a hold of it experienced a true next-gen game.
I mean, there wasn't really a
Because you had to
difference,
get
was
the
there?
scalped console to even run this broken game. It is here that video games have run into a wall. We are past the peak of advancement and now in the era of diminishing returns. Of course, this could very
I mean, that's what I've always believed. I mean, graphics, you just don't see them getting better. Like, look at the new Forza Horizon. I mean, yes, the graphics are still good. They're really nice. I do like the game. It has the best graphics for a racing game. But it's not a bad thing that the graphics aren't getting better. I mean, one thing I do know is playing on PC, load time's significantly better than an Xbox One. But that's pretty much expected when you can upgrade a PC, but you can't do that with an Xbox.
well change in the future. Graphics can improve, and they are, if they don't just get worse for some reason. But
But you need to look at stuff like frame rate and loading time as well, not just the graphics itself.
the difference is getting harder to notice. Even if the models are higher quality and more advanced lighting and rendering techniques are used, this raises its own problem. How the hell am I even gonna run this? We are reaching a point where companies are using the advancements in technology as a crutch to excuse a shorter window to optimize games, leading to newly released games that look comparable to games that are years old with a tenth of the frame rate.
I didn't think about that. Like, think about AI upscaling. Like, it's promoted so much that they say, yeah, we use AI to make the frame rates higher, make it more smoother. Why not just make the graphics better with it? I don't know why. I mean, it could just be because of hardware prices like RAM, SSDs, graphics card, because of this whole AI nonsense going on. But it's a shame we don't really see like big graphics jumps anymore. Like a game like GTA 4, that was like ahead of its time right now. What game is there right now that's ahead of its time in terms of graphics? I don't think there is, because an older game like Red Dead 2 can hold up if you play it on a PC with max settings.
Dead 2 was released 6 years ago, and it still manages to blow new releases out of the water. And now, the tech is more expensive, and the game...
I think that's Red Dead 2 in 2018. I'm going to be surprised what GTA 6 will do. I'm not expecting it to be ahead of its time on PS5 Pro, which is the one I have. But let's say on like a PC 10 years from now, I think it will still hold up.
Games are more expensive, with hardly anything to show for it, because you have to get a microscope to see the differences in visual fidelity. And on top of that, the performance continues to suffer. But again, what's the point of ultra graphics? Sure, it'll look like this, but so does every game now. At this point, just go outside.
Yeah, I think game developers put like a big emphasis on an open world map now, and they're sort of like neglecting the story or graphics in a sense.
But no, there's no need for such drastic measures. In the jungle of video games, AAA companies are like the crocodile. It hasn't evolved in 400 million years because deer keep walking into its mouth, so it just sits there doing this for 12 hours a day. Then you have the rest of the anime kingdom, each filling their own niche within the ecosystem, carving out their own genre, their own art style, experimenting with what works and what doesn't because they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. When one guy in a 10 square meter apartment wants to make a game, he is extremely limited in what he can do. No budget, no manpower, no marketing, no resources.
But here's the thing, you get game developers, yeah, that have a fat budget, and somehow the game still turns up like rubbish, like the game Mind's Eye. I haven't played it, but the reviews, the response to it has just been terrible, and they had a big budget as well, it was like 300 mil. So they don't have that excuse. I guess it's just maybe the whole corporate world in general, or what's going on inside the company. But again, you can't really blame it on that, can you?
One man in a cave with a box of scraps. This limitation is what gives their projects a focus, a niche, an art style, an identity.
Yeah, indie games have like a lot of positive reviews saying how like they're so fun compared to like modern games. What games can you recommend? Because I haven't really been playing any.
I was just going to talk about a game's art style at this point, but I feel like there's more to appreciating a game than just looking at it. At the end of the day, don't we all play video games, read books, and watch movies just to feel something? Graphics, art style, gameplay, story, every element of a game comes together like gears in a machine to create an emotion the developer wants to evoke in the player. The impact visuals have cannot be judged by graphical fidelity or even art style alone, because just looking at a single frame is enough to make people imagine things that aren't directly within the frame itself. These two games have the same graphical art style. People love Battlefield 1 because this game's identity is based on atmosphere and immersion. All you see is blood,
This it is actually ahead of its time, I know for sure.
And people loved it for that. On the other hand, people hated this, because the message that this game is trying to convey is, I actually want to see the people shooting at me. The substance adds to the style, just as the style adds to the substance to fulfill the vision of the creator. Vision. What you see. When you look at the alien from Alien Isolation, you don't see a bunch of decision trees and a game over trigger. All of that is tucked under the rug. You see a moving, thinking, menacing Bellend on its way to kill you. The game is a play.
Yeah, sometimes in games when you look at zombies and aliens, I just think, what is that disgusting thing? Like in Resident Evil 2 Remake, I was playing it, there was this weird creature on the floor crawling at me. I just thought, nah, that is nasty. What the hell is that? Like, how does like someone, I don't know, like a graphic designer or maybe not graphic designer, but like an artwork designer or like a developer sit there and come up with these weird creations? Because sometimes they are just nasty to look at.
And your computer is a stage. The challenge for the developers is to use their smoke and mirrors to highlight things that enhance their vision of the game and hide things that ruin it, so that the player can see what they see in their head when envisioning their project. The alien is the entire purpose of Alien, and so all of the work was put into its movement and behavior, because if the alien is underwhelming, then Alien is also underwhelming. Elden Ring does not actually have the best graphics. There are plenty of games that have better textures and lighting, but none of that even matters because what other game has a giant piss tree in it? You can go scrutinize the grass pixels all you want, but like with any game, doing this will only tarnish your experience. Elden Ring's use of set pieces and color make up for the lack of fidelity that other AAA...
I remember Team Fortress, that game was so fun, but I don't know what happened to it now. I mean, I haven't played it in years.
Games of this caliber have, and it works. A field will only ever be a field, no matter how beautifully rendered it is. It only serves as the background to whatever is put on the field, and so the object that the player has in their vision must be prioritized. Every project in every medium starts with an idea in a person's head of a message or feeling they want to convey, and every aspect of that project is tailored to invoking it to the highest degree. So, since we're talking about visuals in this video, wouldn't you say that the best looking games aren't the most realistic or the most detailed ones, but instead the ones that simply capture your imagination?
I mean, can you give some
All
names?
other forms of media don't strictly adhere to realism, but rather alter, exaggerate, and exclude parts of reality in order to tell their story. So, why should video games
Okay,
have
that looks
ultra-
nice. I haven't played Minecraft with this sort of graphics, but again, like I said, I don't think people really care about graphics when it comes to games like this. Like, the simplistic look has just aged really well. I mean, if they tried being ahead of its time when they first built it, I mean, the game wouldn't be as big as it is today, if you think about it, because people would just say, oh, graphics are ugly, whereas because they kept that whole pixelated, simple look, it just keeps up with any generation. I mean, this I wouldn't mind playing, but I think, look, let's say they made the game like that when it first came out. 5 years later, you're going to think, yeah, this graphic's terrible, I don't want to play this. Whereas if it was like the simple pixel style, you'd still play it. So I don't think graphics are the most important thing in a game. Apart from games like Minecraft and Roblox, or you could argue Fortnite as well, what games are there where graphics are not that good but they're still popular?